Hey guys, welcome back to Makeup and Mental Health. So, I had like a subject I was kind of trying to touch upon, but I guess it's just more of a broad spectrum of feminine energy, so many mixed messages. Well, it's not mixed messages, but it's like, here's the thing. I'm happiest when I'm in my feminine energy. That means I'm being taken care of. I feel safe, you know? And this is how most women would choose. We would obviously choose to stay in our feminine energy, right? But here's the problem, and I really do think the problem is men. They're not actually being masculine. So when they're not being masculine, it forces us to be in our masculine for literally survival, for literally to get anything done. And this is why people are so unhappy. Now, I'm trying to sit here and figure out, how does this all really go? But I've been getting wind of some certain 6th grade happenings. And here's the thing. It's boys bullying girls. And this is something I actually really do not like at all. It actually really makes me sick. So from anything to like shoving girls, saying they're moving too slow if they're walking in the hallway, making fun of girls wearing glasses, doing that whole thing where they want to grab at their bra, and here's the issue. It's girls that aren't doing anything to them. It's not like they're already in like an argument or something. It's girls who mind their own business and the boys just thinking, ha ha, it's funny, let's pick on them. And what do you advise a girl, a literal girl, not even talking about this grown women having to act like this in their marriages, their relationships? How do you advise a child to not have to get out of their character? Okay, because especially in situations where the grown-ups that should be doing something, we all know that it's near impossible to keep an eye on everything. So I'm not really blaming teachers or anything. I'm just saying, how do you advise for girls to not have to get out of their character and fight back? And does that turn into becoming a woman who ends up marrying a man who bullies her, who talks down to her, and telling her, oh, just don't fight back. Don't get out of your character. Don't get into your masculinity. Maybe it'll stop. Because what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't stop? what if it's starting at such a young age? What if these guys are just born to be predators? Like, where are they learning this from? Because if your 6th grade son is bullying 6th grade girls, and we can even say 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, you're failing. You're failing as a parent. Why are you putting these monsters into society? Like, what's wrong with you? So I have a real issue with this, because of course, on one hand, you want to tell your child, boy or girl, if somebody is messing with them, it's okay to stand up for yourself. But I don't believe that girls should be having to fight with boys. I believe that that's completely inappropriate. And obviously it's like not fair either, because the boys are stronger. Their biological makeup, they are stronger. They are, able to take down a girl. And obviously there's exceptions, of course, but this bothers me. And I just think that at some point the societal conditioning is starting, and it has to be starting pretty fucking early. It's gotta be starting at these young ages. Like, I think we can all remember being in school, like maybe 5th grade, 6th grade, and these boys are just snapping the bra straps or whatever else, and it's like, do you want to turn around and punch this kid in the face? Because it's completely inappropriate to be doing this stuff. But what about those girls who are shy? What about the girls who don't want to get confrontational? And I think the reason that, and it's such a sick cycle too, because it's like men will say, oh, you're too masculine, we don't want you, you act too masculine, we don't want to pick you for a relationship. But no girls actually just start off like that. It's a product of society. It's a product of your experiences and the shortcomings of most men. And that's the truth. So it's like, at what point is everything just becoming so fucked up? Like, why are these boys just out of nowhere bullying girls? And what happens? What happens to these girls? What happens to these girls who aren't comfortable or aren't able to stand up for themselves? This is my question here. This is me wondering. What happens to these girls who don't have a support system at home? I mean, I think I remember when I was school age and boys would, make lies up or be bullies, and think if I said anything to my parents, they would have said, oh, just, ignore it, or, oh, that's part of life, getting bullied is a part of life, get some adversity, teaches you some adversity, or, some dumb shit like that. So I remember by the time I was like 21, I would just have full-on fights with these dudes. And like breaking nails, this is not, the society does not support femininity. And I guess that's what I'm getting at. The society doesn't support femininity. It just doesn't. It's like, especially when you're sitting here and as a young girl, what do? You have like one choice. Either take what they're saying and let it make you feel uncomfortable inside, or have to get into your own masculine side and stand up for yourself and fight, or fight back with words. And it's like, nobody, this is why I fucking hate the school system too, because you're always just hearing stuff, and it's a lot of the times it's these guys on these sports teams too. And who is, like, what's the example that actually making girls feel bad is what boys do? Now fast forward to being a grown-up and trying to have a relationship, and these men, bullying these women, like trying to make you feel like shit even after you have their kid, saying that you don't look as good, your body's, having the nerve to body shame you. Do you just sit there and listen to it? Because if you fight back, then you're getting into your masculine. Like, there's issues here. There's major issues within society. And something needs to be done about it. It's like clear that these boys, they don't have a good example. I mean, I don't think there's been a really good example of a healthy nuclear family for many, many years. Maybe one here and there. But, as a whole, this society has been completely broken. And family doesn't really seem like much of a thing. So where's everyone learning this? And when these boys see that there's no consequences, like, this is the thing, there's no consequences, so it's like they don't even think anything is wrong. I know in my own personal experience, like, when I was penetrated against my will, and then later on I try to like tell this person how badly they've affected me, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, you were there, you were like, just, whatever, like, I'm like, you really, it doesn't even register to them. That's the thing where I've like almost given up trying to get through to this person, because they truly do not see anything wrong. And I just wonder if this is a result of no consequences ever happening at such a young age. kids. Like, who is guiding these children to protect girls, to protect women, to respect their mothers, to cherish their mothers, to understand that when they grow up, they will grow up to cherish and protect their partners, to have respect for if somebody's uninterested in them when they are sober, that it doesn't mean that you take advantage of them when they're drunk if they thought you were a friend. Like, the normalization of just doing what you want to a female has to stop. It has to stop. And I hate this so much because I'm not a feminist. Because really what all feminist is women being masculinized and standing up for themselves and saying, we don't want any part of how you are. And it sucks because, most women, we just want to be treated good. We just want to be cared for. It shouldn't be such this deep, foreign concept that men can't grasp. And I think to myself, God, I have been dealing with the aftermath of abuse from men for years. And the fact that none of them even think that anything is even wrong, there's something missing. And it must start early. It really must start early. And what are we going to do? What the heck are we going to do? We can try to raise our sons better, but just because I'm trying to raise my sons to know better doesn't mean Becky Sue down the street gives a shit, And there's a lot of times there's only so much we can do. I didn't do a perfect job. I see that, some of my grown sons have a lot of tendencies to act like their fathers, and their fathers weren't even around. That's how deep this dysfunction runs. Like, these men were not even around, and it's almost like they're just producing, not spitting images of them, but pretty fucking close. Some behaviors, some demeanors, it's a problem. It's a real freaking problem, you guys. And I just can't believe all the time I've wasted. I have wasted so much of my life feeling such deep pain around this subject. And it's like, truly like talking to a brick wall. And I have just, I said, you know what? It's futile. I actually think explaining, and it's like you see this online too. It's like, okay, realizing they don't care and just not typing out the paragraph anymore, and I used to do this even to my most recent ex, who is years gone. And I just think, when I got married, I was hoping for this, and this. And it's like, they don't give a fuck. But I think what's even, these are not my experiences alone. Because I see these women online posting things. And I just read some of the comments in the comments section. I mean, these men, they don't get it, like, at all. So, I mean, I know some of them do, but, like, I don't even know what to even say anymore. Because my daughters and your daughters shouldn't have to go to school to learn stuff and think that they're going to have to toughen up so that they can stand up for themselves against a boy. To me, that's as bad as putting a biological male in women's sports. It's just not right. So I don't know. Anyways, I'm not all the way done, but I'm getting a little bit done. But I just wanted to say, sometimes I feel like deleting this whole entire channel. So don't be surprised if I do. Sometimes I don't feel like it's safe to talk. Sometimes I feel like there's so many trolls out there. And, that's why I'm kind of glad that I'm getting trolls even just on whatever I'm talking about sometimes. Sometimes I just want to delete everything. I really, really do. And one day I might. I don't know. It's like my one channel, it's not deleted, but I can't, get back onto it. So it's just going to live in the internet forever. And I don't like that. I want to feel like I have the power to delete something if I really want to. So I don't know. It's weird. Just I don't like school. It's like, I just don't think that, I just don't like bullying at all. I really don't. So it's definitely hard to be mixed in with all these other people. And it's like, you think you have a decent community, but it's like, you don't. There is really no decent community. As long as this is all going on, are your daughters safe? Do your daughters feel safe enough to talk to you? Or are they going to be the kind that goes in their room and cries silently every day? I mean, I know when I came home from school, when I was a kid, I came home and I cried silently or loudly, and no one ever cared. My mom or dad never cared. They never checked on me. Even when I was telling them, I hate going to this school, kids are mean to me, they just didn't care, at all. So maybe there's a lot of kids that have parents like that, and if they do, what are they going to do? Oh, anyway, I gotta go. I will talk to you later.